this thing, but is she shading Katy? You be the judge, and Eddie Murphy's probably made history achieving this accolade from the Razzies, and we'll tell you what that is.
And was Keke Palmer trying to get with this dead celebrity when she asked Marlon Wayans this question? We have that and a whole lot more.
Welcome to Side Dish.
The world is yours. Sky's the limit.
Hey, back in our happy place, man. Here at Side Dish, we're more than an appetizer when it comes to pop culture and fun. We are the whole meal. How does this new day find you, my friend?
Oh, you know what? I'm glad to be in our basement in the sky here again, back on set, hanging out with you. Ready to get into it. See what the good goss is today.
Most diving.
Yeah. We're going to start off with a little bit of Feed Me. Evidently, we aren't sure. We're genuinely not sure where this roller coaster is located. HK, I'm curious if you would be willing to ride this after watching this man.
Let's go.
Okay, here's the thing about X2. That first drop is a nightmare. I might even have to have my eyes closed a few times because every time I get on this,
What?
I regret it later. Look at this! Oh my God!
I think I wrote that.
Is that Six Flags
That's
California?
Magic Mountain, yeah. And that's how I reacted when I was
Too much!
Because that's the one you're on the outside, right?
Yup.
Yeah, I have
I
written
thought that felt familiar, yo.
Ooh, yeah.
I think so. See, and I was gonna shoot similar footage, but I was afraid I was gonna lose my glasses in the process.
Oh my God, yeah. He's got to have some sort of like, maybe that's just his iPhone or whatever. Woof.
Long live that man. R.I.P. Six Flags Magic Mountain.
I know. What a disappointment.
I almost felt like I was the kiss of death. Like, oh, crack Ben, shut it down.
Done. I did it. I did a whole day there with Amanda Salas.
Okay.
Amanda Salas and her now husband Randy and Amanda's nephew, and that was like one of the last things I did before I moved to Atlanta. And I did ride that ride. If that's the right one, if that was Magic Mountain, like. But if it's closed, this video can't be new.
Well, it's not closed yet, but
that's
it is
right.
shuttering down at some point,
Yeah.
maybe at the end of the season, maybe after Holiday in the Park and whatnot. And it's just so sad because I go to a lot of amusement parks.
Yeah.
And like Universal's heavy on the immersive experience type
Right.
rides. It was interesting to go to an amusement park where it was like very roller coaster driven.
Right.
Because I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah.
I've been so heavy on Universal. And and when I got to the X2, I was like, but X2 of what? Is it like like extreme? Like how like things in the 90s were extreme?
Yeah.
That was a very extreme roller coaster.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, that one's wild. It just feels like death all over the place.
Especially when you don't see it coming.
Yeah. Ooh wee.
Oh man, what kind of rides y'all like? Let us know in the chat. Or what's a ride that you will never ride again? Because those things do change your body chemistry sometimes. All right, now Mariah Carey, she was on BBC Radio when she found out Katy Perry went to space for the first time. But it's
Would
a
you fancy
response
going
though.
to space? You know, like Katy Perry did.
Did she go to space?
Not for long. I think it was
Where'd she go?
space. Where did she go? No one knows. Pardon? Huh?
Into orbit and back?
Katy Perry went into orbit and back.
She's like floating in the...
Yeah.
And this is true.
This. I've not made this up. This is true.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, Katie.
She was proper in space.
I'm not mad at her. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. I mean, she hasn't stopped talking about it since, but it happened. Would you do it?
I think I've done enough.
It was the, all right, Katie.
All right.
For me. You know, I'm sure the brat would disagree, but Mariah Carey is also in space too in this video.
Okay, see, I think I've mentioned that to Brad, and she was like, nah, but like, oh my God, Katie just doing the most up there. Why didn't we leave her up there?
Yeah.
Why didn't we leave her? Ooh, wow.
And
Holy moly.
I'm glad everybody made it back safe, Tanner, but
Yeah.
it was her inclusion on the ship that made me think that this was a Challenger situation that was pre-set up. Like, yo, who do we need to get off the chessboard?
You think Illuminati's trying to get rid of Katie?
Yeah. And I don't know why they would, but some people got that look.
Yeah.
But I think it was the blessing of Gail. I
Gail.
think that probably saved everybody. Who else was on that show?
I think Bezos' wife, the new wife.
See,
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos would have had every reason to kind of, like, yo, because maybe he want to be back outside.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, that man is worth a couple $100 billion. I imagine if he wants to be a little outside, she'd let him be a little outside. I would just imagine. Now, that's me being presumptuous. But I also just like taking it back to the Mariah of it all, where she's like, what? Wow, where did she go? Space? Just space.
Is she back?
She's got the huge glasses. I'm just like, she's hiding the bloodshot. I think she's stoned to the bone.
Yeah, I need a version of AI that can scan video and remove articles. Because, like, I want to see what them eyes do. Because, all right, Katy.
Go, Katy. All right.
And she don't know nobody, but she knew Katy.
She knew Katy.
She just didn't know she went to space. And that was a big deal.
Yeah.
That was a big deal. Like, how many flights would it take for you to be interested or feel safe enough to be like, all right, they got to figure it out?
Wow, okay, now I'm really thinking here, because, like, how many have they done? Just a handful.
Yeah.
We got to get past, for me to feel real comfortable doing it, like, I would probably do it somewhere in the 20s.
Okay.
Like, but then I also know that, like, I'm putting my life in this tuna can and maybe it's not coming back. That would be the worst part.
It is scary. I mean, one can only hope that if something terrible happens, it's instant, like in the submersible.
Yeah. Yo, wait, speaking of the submersible, have you seen the video? The video is going around of the dude, and he's in the submersible, but this is before they were gonna go down to the Titanic,
Like
right?
the same day?
No, this is, I don't think it's the same day, but it's the same ship, and it's the same dude who's like captaining the ship. And he's just recording himself, and he's in there, and he gets down there, and you can hear the body of this thing go ting, 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 ting. And it's like, and he didn't think a whole lot of it, but anybody with half a brain would have recognized, oh no, this thing is close to imploding now.
I've been obsessed about that since it happened, right? And I watched a video recently on YouTube where they was talking about, like, the guy would bomb on anybody who questioned the structural soundness of the vessel, and they would store it in a regular parking lot in the Netherlands. And, like, people was like, yo, everyone knows that, like, you can't leave things like that in inclement weather because it changes the structural soundness of the item. And now here we are with a terrible tragedy, you know?
I wonder, what is that ride back from space like? Like, to get shot up there has got to feel like, okay, you're flying. That's what that is. You're flying really fast. But that fall down has got to feel like, well, we're dying.
Yo, yeah, actually, the velocity in which you're coming
going
down.
too fast.
Man, I would imagine, like, that ride in the amusement park when you're stuck to the wall. And, like, that kind of energy.
Where's the video of them on the way down? What are the noises Katy and Gail are making on the way down?
You never get to see the come down footage. That, like, make it real for us by show us the video of people coming down.
Yeah, evidently she sang Firework up there. Or wait, what did she sing? Somebody said that Katy was up there singing.
Yo, if I was Gail, I'd have punched Katy Perry in her throat if she started singing Fireworks when we're in a vessel that could explode. No, thank you.
Wait. What if she sang What a Wonderful World, but she did it in his deep voice? I see sky.
What a wonderful world. Louis Armstrong.
Gail, sing along. Well, that's what it was. She did sing What a Wonderful World.
But did she do it in black voice?
Did she do it in black voice?
No black voice, no black face. All right,
Wow.
Katy is safe for another week.
What a surprise for her to get all the way up there. Say it in space.
It doesn't count because it didn't happen on Earth.
I'm up in space. Okay, moving on.
Maritime law.
Oh, let me have the video of them coming down. I need it. Okay, moving on. Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy sat down with Speedy Mormon for Complex, and Eddie listed his worst movies, but he ended up getting this honor from the Razzies.
Nash, Holy Man.
Some say Norbit, but I like Norbit.
I love Norbit. You know, Norbit came out when right after I got the Oscar nomination. There were articles that was like, how can he get an Oscar or he did this? It's like, it's two different movies. I wrote Norbit with my brother Charlie, and we think Norbit is fun. And here's the thing with Norbit, when it came out, I got voted for Razzies for
worst actor
of the decade, worst actor, and worst actress.
You get worst actress for that.
They gave me a Razzie for worst actress, worst actor, and worst actor of the decade. I was like, come on, man. It ain't that bad. No. They was just hating on.
That's hilarious.
That is true. They just hating.
They was hating.
Because like the skill set that is required to play as many characters that Eddie Murphy has played sometimes in certain movies, and even though like Norbit was like super duper played up, almost in a Tyler Perry kind of space, you know, for that era, this was magic. Because they really truly felt like two different people.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Well, I mean, this is also. It's like I'm gonna confess something here. I actually haven't seen Norbit.
Jesus Christ, Tanner.
I
like,
know, but I know.
What are you doing this weekend?
I will watch it this weekend.
Yo, we could have the whole crew could come to the crib if y'all want.
Oh, we can do a screening?
And we can fire it up. We can do a screen. We can do it in the backyard so we can cook too if you want, or we can do it in the movie room. Whatever the case may be. Norbit is a new modern classic.
Yeah.
That like I don't know what to compare it to in the the general world.
In the lexicon.
Yeah, the lexicon. Like it's not Tootsie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But Norbit is one of them joints, and I thought it was gonna be garbage. It was funnier than I thought it was gonna be.
Oh, I know. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, how long ago did that movie come out?
Single digit 2000s.
O's. The double O's?
Let me Google.
Because it's one of those things where it's like, at that moment, 2007 we just got. There's a little pocket of time, and this might have been right about, and I would never say that Eddie was overexposed, but there comes a pocket of time when like people can become too familiar to you.
Yeah.
You see them too much, they're almost too available, and it's like maybe this movie kind of fell in that little pocket of window because he had just got, like you said, the Oscar nom, and so it's like, I bet looking back on it now, it's even funnier.
Yeah, because he did great in the movie he got nominated for, which I believe was Dreamgirls.
Yeah.
And he didn't win it, but he was dope. He was amazing. Have you seen Dolomite Is My Name?
Oh, yes.
Yo, and if you've seen any of the Dolomite movies prior to that movie, he was so spot on.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't get the credit he deserves.
Oh, no, he's brilliant. The other thing, too, about that clip is, like, Eddie is aging well.
Yeah.
Man, how old? Like, he looks almost the same.
It's almost like in the trailer, the pickup with what's my man with the eyes? Look like balloon knots.
Steve Buscemi?
No, the other guy. Looks like a younger Steve Buscemi.
Young Steve Buscemi.
Pete Davidson. When Pete Davidson is like, yeah, man, like you're black, you could be 40 or 90. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But if you had to pick Eddie Murphy's 4 worst movies, what would you say they are? Because like it's crazy because the movies that I didn't rock with initially, I went back and it's like, oh, that wasn't bad. Like Metro, I hated Metro when it came out.
Yeah.
Watched it again later, not that bad. Pluto Nash, didn't see it in theaters. It didn't suck as much as I thought it was.
Yeah, I was gonna say Pluto Nash. That was one I haven't been able to get through. I don't know. I typically like Eddie's movies.
Have you seen Serious Eddie? Have you seen Mr. Church?
I have not seen Mr. Church.
Yo.
There was Daddy Daycare. I didn't really care for that one.
Yeah, I skipped that one.
Yeah.
I skipped that one and Dr. Doolittle too. I don't like him talking to animals. We talk about it all the time. We like Eddie Murphy.
Eddie with a gun.
A gun. Yeah. Gun-toting Eddie Murphy.
Give Eddie a gun
undefeated.
and some jokes. Let him run and shoot things and wisecrack. That's what I want.
Be sure you stream The Pickup now on Amazon Prime. All right, well, Tisha Campbell tells Lena Waithe how she got the role of J. Kyle from My Wife and Kids after finding out they didn't want her to audition because she was like family. So she called Tashina Arnold and asked where the audition was, and after getting the address, she pulled up. Check it out.
What? Okay, listen. I told the producers that you're on your way in, and they are pissed. Damon's not here yet. They don't know how he's gonna react. I just think you should hide when you get up in there. I said, what? I'm a grown-ass woman. I ain't hiding from. Please. He was like, Tisha, I'm begging you, don't do this. You are really gonna ruin your kid. There you go with that negativity again. Click. Right? So, park my car, go inside. I'm sitting there. I ain't got to lose because don't nobody want me here anyway, right? So I'm just sitting there chilling. I'm not even going over my lines. I'm watching everybody else, you know, they're studying. And then I think about it and I go, well, you know what? Damon's not here yet, so maybe I should go hide. So I gather up my stuff. I stand up and I start walking towards this room, but I run smack dab into Damon. And he goes, hey, T. I was like, hey, Dave, we're sisters. And he was like, oh, okay. And we hugged. He was like, he said, I guess I'll see you in there. It's like, okay, see you in there. And then I just sit my stuff back down and start laughing because I was like, the producers don't want me. Nobody wants me here. Damon's probably pissed. I'm about to have a good ass time.
Wow. Yo, and shout out to our bestie Tashina Arnold for not gatekeeping the info.
For
'cause
sure.
I don't know if you know how far they go back, but they've been doing stuff together since they were kids.
Oh, wow, I
There
didn't
was
know
a
they
show
went
back
back
in the day
kids,
on
yeah.
NBC called Rags to Riches that they was on. They was also both in like one of the versions of Little Shop of Horrors, which was super dope. So it's always dope to see that dynamic duo tied in, even though
yeah.
Tashina wasn't on My Wife and Kids, but to even get the alley-oop going was
for
great.
sure, yeah. I love that. I love stories of people showing up to audition for things that they're not necessarily called in for. Like
Yeah.
you never, like, I don't know, there's a couple, like, what's her name? Edie
Falco?
Falco, I think. What was, there was
Sopranos?
The
Nurse Jackie?
Sopranos role, she wasn't even supposed to have that. She just like showed up and was in the waiting room and then randomly went in and she got that role there. And so it's like, it happens every now and then in Hollywood. I don't know, I love those stories.
And a lot of people like operate in a space that My Wife and Kids was better than Martin. There's some people who know her more for that than they do with Martin, and I think that gave her an amazing second lifeline and kept her on our TVs longer. Fun fact, when I was in high school, I strategically dated chicks that looked like Tisha Campbell. Like, I super had a thing for Tisha Campbell. My first two girlfriends in high school, like, had that look.
Absolutely. And well, the other thing too is for anybody watching, she's also one of those people who's just as nice in person as she seems in that clip right there. Like she's great. She's a lot of fun.
And she's a dope ass singer too.
Yeah.
I can go on and on talk about Tisha Campbell's talents.
Yeah.
I really can.
Absolutely.
Shout out to all the audition crashers out there in the streets.
Yeah, that's right. Go crash them. Go crash an audition. What are they going to do? Not cast you? Then we're going to cast you in the first place.
You weren't even invited.
You weren't even invited. Show up. Know your lines. All right. Marlon Wayans stopped by Keke Palmer's show, and things took a real funny turn when Keke wanted to know if this rapper would have liked her.
One's got to go. Rap legends: Tupac, Biggie, Nas, Jay-Z. Yeah, get ready to cry.
Wow.
Tupac,
Biggie, Nas, Jay-Z.
Tupac, Biggie, Nas, Jay-Z.
Completely unfair.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna keep it a buck. All right. And I met all of them.
You met all of them?
I met them all.
You met Tupac and Biggie?
I above the rim. Me and Tupac were like, me and Tupac were friends. That was my guy.
What was he like? Would he have liked me?
Funny as hell. Funny as hell. Was he would have liked you?
Why would that be the question?
That's crazy. You want me to hook you up with Tupac? He's dead. But I just want to know he would have hit this. That's all I want to know. Because I love his eyelashes. I want my baby to have eyelashes like Tupac.
Skin was gorgeous, eyelashes, everything. Okay.
Who wouldn't like Keke Palmer?
I mean, yeah, truly, who wouldn't like Keke Palmer? Yeah. Also, like, obviously RIP and gone too soon, but if there is any sort of like halfway positive thing about a life going young, it's like you remember them being young and attractive.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah, you don't get to see like, Tupac with arthritis.
Right.
Or like.
Yeah, we don't have old Tupac.
Yeah, like missing back tooth Tupac.
Right.
You know, he clocked out, way too soon.
Way too soon.
But yeah, we didn't get a chance to see him on the decline.
Yeah, that's like Keke, when she thinks about Tupac, it's not 60-year-old Tupac.
Right, which would have been a completely different dude.
It's California, it's California love, and it's like, and it's like that. So he's like, would he have liked me?
And she chose violence with that question because, like, I was literally sitting here thinking about it too. If I had to, like, get one of them off the island, Tupac, Jay-Z, Biggie, Nas, ooh, it's rough. Because those are some of my favorite rappers, but I feel like, for me, probably Tupac would be off the island.
Really?
Yeah, and I know that's a tough one. Y'all gonna come for me in the chat. However, it's my list, not yours.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, and I'm not pretending to have the depth of knowledge, but I guess I would have to have Nas off the island. Even though you woke up this morning and got yourself a gut, like I got it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know a little.
Yeah.
But how are you gonna get rid of Tupac? You're gonna get rid of Tupac?
It's tough, right? So for me, right, the fact that Nas is who he is, and like me being there.
Every city, and a place where life's a little gritty.
Okay.
That's Thug's Paradise.
Oh, Thug's, the remix version with
yeah.
my man who sings when bad things happen.
Yeah.
I know you talk about.
Yeah,
like the fact that Nas dropped 6 albums in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
At 50 plus
Right.
and was still rapping with the intensity of a person who was still in a single bedroom apartment in
Right.
Queensbridge Projects.
Yeah.
Longevity and the business moves he made. Jay-Z, he hasn't clocked in for work in quite some time. But when you think about the things he's done and the way he's moved the ball
The
forward.
architecture he has moved around, yeah.
And I still listen to Biggie like he just came out.
Yeah.
I think my issues with Tupac come from he would still be alive if he played too much. He leaned too much into that whole thug life thing when the thing was get on the phone, talk to Biggie, figure it out. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like he talked himself into a situation that caused a lot of people to no longer be here and made a lot of people choose sides.
Yeah.
But however, there was a lot of positive things he did, but damn, if Pac would have just did what he's supposed to do, I feel like he would have still been here.
Yeah. Yep.
But I'm sure y'all have something to say about that there in the chat.
Do we have thoughts in the chat?
Questions, comments, concerns. After the break, find out the real reason Flex Alexander took his infamous Michael Jackson role that folks still talk about to this day. Y'all, Shimon, back in 2 minutes.
Shimon.
Welcome back. In an upcoming episode of Tory Hart's podcast, Brutally Honest, actor Flex Alexander reflects on his experience playing one of the most controversial roles of his career, Michael Jackson. Check it out.
So I get a call from my manager. He's like, hey, yeah, I got this movie they're doing about Michael Jackson, and they want to meet with you. I'm like, what? Yeah, it's Michael Jackson. You know, it's not authorized, but they're doing stuff just off of court documents and stuff like that. And I was like, they know I'm 6'4" and I'm chocolate, right? Like, just go meet him. I'm like, all right. And then I get a call, say, hey, they want to offer you the movie. I'm like, what? I didn't do anything. I was like, yeah. And I was like, this is what they want to pay you. I'm like,
Michael.
I say, and aside from the bad makeup.
That's what I was going to ask you. Did they sit you down and just say, get the powder?
And even worse, they had a prosthetic nose, but I refused to wear it.
He said no to the nose?
I'm not putting that on. No.
And for those who missed that beautiful pocket of time in which this film existed in, here's a little snippet to remind you.
Can't bring another child into this world. Call the lawyers. Cancel the surrogate.
It's too late, Michael. She's already pregnant.
But look at this, Bobby. Look at this.
I know.
All those people, their families.
Flex had Michael Jackson look like a grieving mother.
I know. What a wild piece of dialogue, too. Like, you know, well, can't bring a child in. It's too late, Michael. The surrogate's already pregnant. What?
The court documents. They just go off the docs.
What?
So they say.
Also, wasn't it the thing that like Michael's high voice was like his show voice and his real voice was deeper? Like you would think in private quarters,
right?
We would have got real Mike voice.
I've heard that from people who knew him personally that said he did have a deeper register, that sometimes he would talk in, but a lot of times, sometimes even behind the scenes, you still would get high voice Mike. It just depends who was around, I guess.
Right, sure.
And that is wild. That is so wild. Because, like, I remember when it came out, and, like, you ever, like, turn something on for 5 minutes, you'd be like, I've seen enough.
I can't do it.
And I rock with Flex.
Yeah.
But not in that one.
That's the thing, is like, he's doing a good job. It's just what they have done to him to look like Mike is. So, also, I want to know what the nose looked like.
Me too. Like, you know, like,
he looked at himself in the mirror.
It was like, no,
with the wig and the powder. He looked at himself like that with red lips and was like, yes. And then they were like, nose? And he's like, absolutely not.
Yo, and also too, like out of context, he looked like Velma.
Yeah. I mean,
you know, even when Velma wears like the orange, it's like depending on how your tint is, it looks like an orange sweater and that little bob cut.
Yeah.
She just needs those glasses and to say Jinkies one time.
Yeah, it's just like,
yeah. I mean, but hopefully this new Michael Jackson biopic, which I heard they're now breaking up into 2 parts, hopefully this corrects the timeline, if you know what I mean.
It's so interesting. The thing, obviously, that makes a Michael Jackson biopic, and correct me if I'm out of line here.
Okay, come on.
Is the difficulty of casting Michael.
Because you need like 3 people.
Yeah.
You need big nose Mike. You need medium nose Mike.
Yeah.
You need light skin Mike.
Right. That's what I'm saying is like, how do you do it?
Real quick, so if you was the cast, right, and they're already doing what they're doing, but if you was about to, I already know who, I don't even need to Google this person. If you was about to cast, who do you have for regular nose Mike?
Regular Mike? What are we talking here? Late 80s Mike?
Late 80s Mike, he had the afro, off the wall.
Okay.
Early 80s, late 70s, early 80s Mike.
Ooh, I don't know. It's because he's got to be a thin guy who can dance.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, you could darken Chris Brown up enough to maybe do that, but will we say that's blackface? Don't know, can't call it. Because he understands.
If you make a black person darker, that's still blackface?
We're still trying to figure this out. This is a new world that we're operating in. Because I remember one time there was an actress who got some smoke for playing Nina Simone, Zoe Saldana, who sometimes operates as a Latina, right?
Yeah.
And they had to darken her up to really pull off that look. And I know she caught some flack off it, and I think that affected some people from going out to see it. But I would nominate Tilda Swinton as light-skinned Mike.
Okay, now, here's the thing is, I think that's brilliant.
It works.
But Tilda Swinton, bam, hitting the moves, doing the whole thing.
She got the height. You know what I'm saying? She got to just lip sync.
Tilda Swinton with a kick, boom.
I've seen her do a lot of things. She can do most things.
She can do, honestly, that's heightened casting.
You're not gonna run into too many adults who got Michael Jackson physique.
No.
As an adult.
They gotta be real skinny, and she's pale.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was because of vitiligo.
Yeah.
And then he did the skin bleaching thing to balance it out. Because like a lot of people didn't find out he passed away. The reason why he wore that glove, we thought he was like flexing on y'all with his diamond glove.
Yeah.
Like, nah, his hand was looking like a Neapolitan swirl.
Yeah.
So he's like, let me put this glove on and like cover that up. And then that's why you never really saw him in shorts much.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Mike in shorts. Yeah.
He was looking like a composition book.
I wonder if they'll show that in the new biopic.
They should uncover everything just to answer the questions, because there's so many things that we called him wacko, jacko, and weirdo about. But when he passed, you realize, oh, that's why he hit his kids, because he wanted to protect them. And I said hid, not hit. That's why he did that, and that's why he was moving how he was moving. It's like, yo, I got this money. Let me just make these things go away. Because I will say, like, despite all the allegations that were brought against him, nothing was ever proven, and everybody that like had something to say at the podium came back and was like, man, my greedy ass parents made me do that. There is one person though.
Right.
The guy who was in that rap group Quo, who was like a dancer, he came back, but other than that, yeah.
Controversial.
Wade Robinson. There we go.
Yeah, Wade stuck to. I believe Wade stuck to his story. Yeah, that would be interesting. It would be. It would. I think it would be very interesting to get an inside view at that version of Mike. Mike without the glove.
What would you rather watch, like the movie they're about to make, or a movie made from the POV of Bubbles? Because his life is lit too.
Yeah, a movie.
He got to see the things.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Bubbles is around for the things.
He's still around.
Still around. Still around for that fact.
Yo, after Mike left, everybody just started acting brand new.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Marlon thought he was in charge of the band.
Yeah. The crotch grab, that was mine. That was my move. That was my move. Mike took that from me. Do I get? I don't get any credit.
Why does Bubbles sound like George Burns? I love it though.
Yeah. All right, moving on. LiAngelo Ball has revealed on the Bag Fuel podcast why he officially walked away from his basketball dreams to chase a career in rap music.
I would go to the next.
What made you want to just quit basketball and just focus on music?
Really, how it pays, the way of living, like everything,
Really?
everything else.
I mean, your brothers got big contracts, man.
My brothers, but I was in the G League. Okay. That's $3K a month as a grown man. That shit, I was getting mine and throwing it, like right when you touch $3K, that ain't hold nothing.
So you was throwing it up
when
in
I
the
got
strip
paid for
club?
music, it wasn't like a hard decision. Like, I wasn't contemplating like, damn, I gotta hoop. I was like, I gotta live. At this point, I gotta live now. So
Plus, you got your brothers some backup.
yeah, I really want to hoop. I get it in with them.
Damn. That makes sense, because because I didn't realize how little G League players
I had
made.
no idea.
Yeah, apparently he was playing for NBA plus.
Right, yeah. So he played for, I honestly didn't even know this was a thing, the G League. So he played for the Greensboro Swarm.
I ain't even seen a jersey before.
Exactly, that's what, do you think there's still Ball Greensboro Swarm jerseys?
I don't know, I could Google
That might
it.
be kind of fun. Evidently, he was averaging in the G League 6.9 points a game. There he is, 6.9 points a game, almost 2 rebounds in 14 games. And he also played overseas in Mexico. That's absolutely, you have done it. I feel like you have checked the box. You've seen basketball as far as it will take you. Because if that's your G League stats, you're probably not getting the call to the big league.
What high school were they playing at just there?
Oh, I don't know.
And looking at the Greensboro Swarm logo, it looks like the Charlotte Hornets jersey, but someone got fired. Like, I'll show you, and they took their designs over there. Greensboro got something. Man, I mean, but here's the thing. Not everybody is equipped for the trip. Like, his brothers are there out here balling, you know what I mean? And maybe that's what LiAngelo needed to do. It seems like that song that he put out there sticking to people's ribs. He put out a couple other records ever since then. You know, I hear stuff every now and then. Heard he needs to work on his live show a little bit, but other than that, he cooking.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think to chase any dream that you have to the point where you know that it's not going any further, I have respect for that. And I don't care if that's sports, I don't care if that's music, I don't care if you want to be an author and you've actually writing a book and putting your book out. I think, and so I don't know, I respect him for taking it to the G League.
Yeah.
And then you get there and you're like, okay, well, this is probably gonna be the end of it for me, but if opportunities open up in music, obviously run with it.
If you're making $3,000, he said a month or a game?
I think he said a month.
A month? Yeah, you're still selling weed on the side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You did the right thing, brother.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Innocent Paak real quick. He might have heard that Tisha crashed her My Wife and Kids audition and made it because he did something similar to Dr. Dre in order to play the drums at the 2022 halftime show. Check out what he said on Drink Champs.
It's coming around. We're gonna get it, guys.
Already dropped the flyer for the Super Bowl, right?
And you weren't involved in it
I
yet.
was not on that. I hit Dre direct. Dre, what the let me get on that joint. Let me play drums, something. Let me, I can get in there some way. He said, hey, it's all good. I made my own flyer. I superimposed myself on that.
You AI
This is before AI. Before AI. How long ago? They played 10 years ago. That shit was before AI. I hit my people up. I'm like, look, you gotta figure it out. I threw myself on there. I was like, yo, what's good? Like, he's like, we're gonna find something for you. I was like, bet. I'm putting myself on the flyer. I'm gonna just take a few liberties. I'm gonna just throw myself on there. And I showed it to him. He started cracking up. He was like, make sure they know it's a joke. I was like, that's all good. I'm gonna post it. And I was on that. Next thing you know, I was.
Way to manifest it, though.
It's a forced manifestation.
That's what it's not fake it till you make it. It's bring it to fruition.
I mean, he had the connection. He had to just see it all the way through.
Yes.
Man. Absolutely.
He deserves it all, man.
Every single. I remember. I knew who he was at that point in time, and I was like, oh shit, you know.
He's that guy, man, and so talented. Like anytime you could drum and still sing and perform, and he's so humble. I remember like years ago, I did this thing. Me and my group, the Bodega Brothers, we did this thing with Sway in the Morning, where we went to LA and it was like a studio space they rented out, and he's like, yo, we put together this random band that is gonna come in and rock. And this is before he took off. Yeah. And like everybody, DJ Revolution was on the turntables. There was a guitar player, I forgot who it was. And on the drums, it's like, yo, this is our guy Andy. I was like, hey, what up, Andy? Yeah. And then like it was like mad months later, like, yo, you know who that was playing drums for us? He's like, oh, Anderson Paak. I'm like, no. And then we looked on there, it's like it sure was.
Oh, wow.
But just as nice as could be, humble, and you can see sometimes good energy and just, you know, being assertive and just like, you know, being prepared for the opportunities that present themselves. Get you on the biggest stages in the world, and he deserves all of that.
Yeah, being prepared and being kind, because people don't want to do favors for jerks. You know?
Not at all. People like Anderson Paak so much, they don't question his hair or teeth.
What's crazy about his teeth? Maybe he just has
They're brand new.
Good dental hygiene. He doesn't have them looking too fake, like they're trying to crawl out of his mouth.
But we know that this is an aftermarket purchase, and they look fantastic on him, and no one's giving him any smoke because he's a good human being. That's right. I rock with him. Like, so when I come in here, like, I'm not gonna get the teeth, but when I come back here with like the Anderson Paak cut, don't ask me no questions. I'm out here putting that kind of energy out here too.
Okay, yeah, it does have
There was a reason why he was wearing a perm wig when he was doing the, what he was doing. No, nothing looks bad. The team is like, they don't look bad. No, they don't look bad.
Yeah, right now, the control room is telling us those are his teeth, and sure. They're in his mouth. It's like Dolly Parton used to say, when people talk, her boobs real, they're like, I really paid for them.
Yeah, you got the receipt, right? The check cleared.
They're there. He eats with them. Do you not have to brush them? Do they always look that white? Is that how that works?
From what I understand, if you get falsies, you gotta really be aggressive with them.
Even more.
Because they stain easier, from what I understand.
See
the same thing when people get their teeth whitened. If you get your teeth whitened, something about the enamel, it holds the color of whatever you take on a little bit more, so you gotta be careful.
Yeah.
You gotta brush your teeth like you clean your shoes in jail.
I like that he put himself on the flyer and posted it. It makes me think, sometimes I think, I'm like, what do I need to push? What do I need to push in my own life to like try to do something next level like that? I don't even know what it is. Now I'm looking for opportunities to just show up.
Add yourself on Real Housewives.
Yeah.
Just be like, just be a dude at the end holding a peach pie.
Yeah. What I need to do is like find out when there's like gonna be some backyard pool party, and I just show up. I just like sneak in, but I act like, because we've had a couple of them, and so I can be like, hey, what's going on? Hey, how you doing? But I'm in a Speedo, so I draw a lot of attention.
See, being intentional.
Being intentional. Being intentional.
Setting the table.
Speaking into existence. You gotta take it. Yeah.
Well, listen, man, we gotta run out the break, but we'll see you in about 2 minutes. Set your timers. More side dish on the way.
All right, y'all, welcome back. If you're gonna get stranded in Atlanta, you might as well get stranded at Hartsfield-Jackson and see what Atlanta's got to offer. Traveler Mickey Nucci, I hope I said that right, missed his connection here in Atlanta, but luckily for him, he became besties with Octavia Robinson, a gate agent at Hartsfield-Jackson, who took him out on the town to help him catch a vibe. Check it out.
Okay, I'm stranded in it. I'm drunk as hell. It's 1 in the morning. Flight agent that I became friends with is gonna pick me up in 15 minutes, and we're gonna hit the clubs in Atlanta. She'll drop me back off here at 5 in the morning, and we're good. Okay, guys, so I have to get on this bus right here. It's gonna take me to where Octavia is, and she's gonna pick me up, and then we're going to the club. Hi. Yeah, just a domestic baggage claim. I have no idea what's about to happen. I'm excited though. I'd love to go to a bar, have a drink, hang out, and catch a vibe. Guys, she's here. Hey. We're at the ice bar.
We are.
She got all dressed up. There we go. They're out. Okay, guys, I'm back at the airport. What a fun night.
If you watch the full video, I think Kim put this in the side dish group chat. If you watch the full flight or the full video, he ends up missing his connecting flight anyhow.
Oh man!
Like he slept through it or something. He shows up back at the airport and he's like passed out, sleeping at the airport, misses his flight again.
Atlanta's like that though, where like there are so many dope people that live here in the city, and if you catch somebody at the right time, you can have a fun. It's crazy that Octavia had the energy to do all that after working a shift.
Let me tell you,
Most times people get off work, the last thing they want to go do is something else, especially like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, another thing, too, is like you never know about some people working at the airport. There's this dude who used to come to jiu-jitsu, and he worked at the airport, and his shift would end about an hour before jiu-jitsu started, and so his day was still going on. So he would come to jiu-jitsu, and that was like his evening for him, and that was at 5 a.m.
Man, have you ever became fast friends with a stranger and then hung out with said stranger? I mean, it sounds like, bar stuff.
Yeah. Oh, oh God. Yeah. You can want. I had some adventures in LA. That's for sure.
That's what's up.
But never at an airport.
Word. Nah, I feel like I can count on one hand the great relationships I have forged with people on flights and in planes, because you don't always get to sit next to somebody cool. But I remember the first time I ever went to Canada, Vancouver. Like I met this chick who was so cool, showed me all around the city. I was on a traveling tour at that time, and we sat and watched the sun come up over the horizon.
Oh, amazing.
It was like some movie quality stuff, and we stayed in contact. And this is during the era of people writing letters. You know what I'm saying?
Oddly enough, I was just thinking about it, and it's like I don't know that I've made an airplane connection since the era of the iPhone.
Wow.
Before the iPhone, I do feel like now, because it's so easy to get in our own little world. We put our headphones on, or we watch the TV, and if you're of a certain age, they didn't have TVs in the back of every chair, and sure, people had their Walkmans and whatnot, but there wasn't smartphones and email on an airplane, and so there was a pocket of time where you were more likely to have a conversation with the person sitting next to you.
Same thing with the TVs in the headrest. I mean, there's so many things that take out that conversation away from people, man. Shout out to people who have been flying since the time you could smoke on the plane.
Let me tell you.
That was a different time. What are these ashtrays for? All right, well, speaking of making connections, as it turns out, your net worth really is your network.
Ooh.
So the internet is buzzing about a new social media site called 2 Cents that swaps usernames with their net worth. Check it out.
2 cents?
That's kind of ill. I like the logo. Now, according to the CEO and the founder, Andy Dudero, this pseudo-anonymous platform is based on radical transparency, so users are literally putting their money where their mouth is with every post.
Wait, what?
This man looks like the person who's going to take this information and steal it.
So about 1,400 users have been onboarded via a private beta, and evidently that's totaling to 150 million in assets, with the highest verified user's net worth at 26 million. Everyone knows that that person has 26 million now. Then it works kind of like Reddit, with topics ranging from investing to politics and dating. Ooh. That's interesting.
So does your name change every week? Because, sometimes you might be worth $1,007, and then next week you're worth $999,528 because, something cleared.
Your username is your Net worth, that's what that is? So it's like my username is like $1,000 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's crazy when you level up. Like, let's say people start paying more attention. Oh,
Right.
Mr. 1,000 and changed up. Now he's Mr. 20,000.
Oh, Mr. 20,000, what are you doing? Oh, blah, blah. I would take investing advice from someone who's verified to like have jumped their income or whatever. Yeah. Evidently, the net worth is verified by a fintech company linking users' bank, brokerage, and crypto accounts. So how about that? Even the polls revealed the average net worth behind each response. Wow. This is crazy.
With things being linked to banks, because there's a lot of crafty hackers out there, you know, always trying to figure a workaround in the system. I don't know if I'd feel comfortable linking all my financial information to a social networking site.
Right.
It's one thing if you're doing like Rocket Money, just to manage your stuff. That's you and it's personal.
Right.
But for the whole world to see and make everybody in your lexicon become kidnappable, especially if you're posting pictures of your family.
Yeah, at a certain point, it becomes real risky. Like the $26 million verified person. Like, you got to be careful because now people are just going to try to be friends with you because of that. You know, because they know you got it.
Yeah. Oh, like, what's this person's pain points?
Yeah.
Who or what do they care about the most?
So,
like, I always think about things from a villainous way. Because even going back to that last story with the gate agent, if I was an organ harvester, this is how I would get you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, come hang out. Yeah. What time's your flight? Yeah, we'll get you back.
What they should have, what if they had like a dating service, but you had to plug in your most recent STD results, and that's how you were listed?
Yo, like, would that make the levels raise or drop? Inquiring minds want to know. Do you think that revealing people's network will change how they move on social media?
I think so. I do think it would change the way people move. It's so weird. It's tricky because like anytime, and we've done it here on I don't know if we did it on Side Dish or we did it on Dish, but you can just Google net worth and whatever celebrity, and that number is never right.
Right.
That number is always crazy talk. But this, I don't know. I wouldn't want everybody knowing my business like that.
It's too intrusive. Too intrusive, man. What say y'all in the chat? Is this something y'all would sign up for? Because I know sometimes people like might be coming in at a 5-figure name and they want to upgrade to a 6-7-figure name.
Sure.
By affiliation or connectivity with a person who's balling like that.
Absolutely.
So we'll see.
All right, guys, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back with more Side Dish in 2 minutes. What's up, guys? Welcome back. All right, seems like now if you're an adult and you have anxiety or you're stressed out, you're not supposed to drink, you're not supposed to reach out for a glass of wine or a little smoky tokey. Have someone hand you your pacifier, evidently. Adults in China have started to use baby pacifiers to quell their anxiety, saying it gives them a sense of peace. like from childhood. Some doctors are saying that sleeping with a pacifier may interrupt your sleep or change the alignment of your teeth, but folks still like the feeling it gives them. Are you rocking a pacifier if you're stressed as an adult? Drop us a link in the comments. Let us know. Arlene has given us pacifiers. And so evidently I'm supposed to, I'm not gonna touch both of them.
Okay.
Here you go.
This is kind of odd. See, sometimes when like countries lose wars, they come back stronger and better than ever with all the new stuff. Japan.
Yeah.
China, I don't know, man.
This, you know, I don't know if I love it. I don't love it. I don't know that I need this in my life.
Yeah, like.
Okay, Arlene keeps telling me to put it in my mouth, which oddly is stressing me out more.
Yeah, because it's weird. It's just, I don't feel relaxed. It stresses me out because when I start chewing things, I like to chew more, right? Because like I like them chew sticks that you get from like them random shops like on. I ain't seen them since I lived in Atlanta, but like you go to little spots, you get these sticks and you chew on them, and they got a little flavor to it.
Yeah.
This is not that. This is yeah. If I saw an adult with this, I would assume that he gets to ride the rides first.
Yeah. Well, what I have heard is that if you're ever at like an EDC type event and you see people with these, it's to keep them from grinding their teeth.
What's EDC?
Like Electric Daisy Carnival.
Oh, because they're on a Molly.
And so sometimes if you're out and about in the world, you might see somebody on like this, but their eyes will also be like this. Also good.
Very attentive.
Yeah.
Getting a Maggie Simpson suck on?
Yeah, because the music's going wah, 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 and they're like traveling through space. You know?
Wow. See, you learn something new every day.
There it is. That's why you see them at festivals.
Will y'all run this up? Will y'all try the pacifiers?
And also, I would ask our viewers, don't screen grab this and post it on the internet. This is for us in the name of science. We're doing this for you.
Yeah, we tried. Like, cause I instantly just start chewing on it, like, I don't know, like, yeah, that's how I feel about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
what say y'all?
We did it. We did it.
I feel like I'm more stressed out now after doing that.
Yeah, it's, you know, I don't know. There's someone out there on the internet, somewhere out there on the internet are people who like dress like babies for their kink. And
that's a whole thing.
That's the
and
whole thing.
Those people are odd too.
Yeah.
Anyway, in
All
2
right.
minutes, man, we're gonna see y'all. And we coming back with everybody's favorite game, Whose Cousin Is It?
Welcome back. It's time for everybody's favorite game. Whose cousin is it?
Adam or Eve? What do you believe? Adam or Eve? What do you be Adam.
I like it. I like it. Okay, here we go. When vaping in the sky did not take the edge off. All right, so a man's vaping dreams went up in smoke after he got busted taking one puff. Oh no, in the lavatory of an American Airlines flight from Phoenix to San Francisco, which, fun fact, not only a fire hazard, it's a federal offense.
Oh no, after getting caught with his pants down, literally, the man was sitting on the toilet when he claims the flight attendant forcibly opened the bathroom door on him twice, and the flight attendant told them it's a hazard to smoke while on a plane, and the Smokey Bandit apologized, but things got real messy when the flight attendant realized he was recording.
Ooh, she told him, get out, reached for his phone, and the man lost it and accused her of putting hands on him, to which another flight attendant stepped in and said she did not. The man clapped back with, I have a lawyer, I am a lawyer, and threatened to leak the video if she didn't apologize.
Oh, but wait, plot twist, he threatened to call the cops only to find the San Francisco Police Department waiting on him at the door when he landed, and they escorted him smooth off for his disruptive behavior.
Ooh-wee. Okay, the man released a statement shortly after claiming his privacy and dignity were violated. He admitted to a few outlets that, yes, he did take one puff of the vape because he was going through withdrawals while trying to kick his nicotine habit, and apparently he received no charges, no FAA fine, and no fly list ban.
Okay, so quick recap. Met on a flight from Phoenix to San Francisco. He went to the lavatory, took one puff of his vape, set off the smoke alarm. Flight attendant pulled up on him, busted him twice, and told him smoking was prohibited. He recorded the confrontation. When the flight attendant realized this, she reached for his phone. The man accused her of assault. He demanded an apology. He wanted satisfaction and threatened to release the video to the San Fran police, and they escorted him off the plane when they landed. Whose cousin is it?
Oh.
I know who it's not.
Yeah, I know who it's. There's a little P word involved in this one, I think.
What?
I think this
Calling
man.
the police?
Well, I think this man might be the recipient of some cultural privilege.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And then when my man said I had a lawyer. I mean, we do have a lawyer. We have lawyers. You know, we are lawyers.
Sure.
But I don't know. But when you lead with that, and then you also chase it with I have a lawyer. I am a lawyer.
Yeah. Yeah.
We will tell lies, but sometimes in not that succession. You know, like,
not that immediate.
Like we would have led with I am a lawyer.
Yeah, I am a lawyer.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm glad that this story happened because there's been times I thought about going to the lavatory to do just that.
This feels like my cousin or potentially other.
Okay, I feel that. Definitely feel that.
Yeah.
San Francisco. Thinking about the makeup of San Francisco.
Yeah.
A lot of Asian people in San Francisco. Tech bros, which could be a little bit of everybody from across the board. People not from here, people from here. People that look like they're from here, but
tech support cousin is a kind of cousin.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So you leaning in the tech support cousin?
I am feeling slightly other. I'm just slightly more other than my cousin, yeah.
What was the things that threw you off the trail from it being part of the Tan fam?
Okay. I feel like my cousins are hyper aware of getting busted for smoking in an airport.
Okay, wouldn't break the rule. Because I also feel like one of us, or even one of your cousins, would have put the hoodie up and then they did it like on the low.
Try to be sneaky
inside the thing, and then just cough inside their jacket to not throw anybody off. So with that being said, I'm a lean cousin too.
Okay.
The type of cousin, I am not sure. I'm a lawyer, going from San Francisco. I am a lawyer. Yeah, just other cousin, maybe Hans Gruber's cousin.
Maybe Hans' cousin.
Yeah, Hans Gruber
from
the Nakatomi building. So as we always do about this time,
move that van.
Let's get it.
Looky there.
Peter Twoey King Ween. This your lawyer?
Yeah, this is your lawyer with a what is that? A Charizard or a Squirtle on his shirt?
Smokey-Mon. Yo,
I'm glad. I felt it. I felt called to my cousin there.
I feel like if it was us, we'd have pulled the actual joint out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't feel. That's what I'm saying. Is like the little things. There's always little things here, guys.
They'd be like, it's legal.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like,
Exactly.
no,
Yeah. I have a card.
Medical.
Yeah.
It's CBD.
It's CBD.
Even if it is.
It's actually just vapors, guys.
Appreciate y'all locking in with us, man. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank y'all for everybody who's already done that.
Guys, thank you so much. You know we love doing the show for you. We love getting into the comments. And if there's anything you would like to see us cover on the show, hit us in the comments, send us a DM. We check that stuff all the time.
And if y'all want to buy these pacifiers from us, we'll sell them to you.
We'll put them on eBay. Just lightly used adult pacifiers.
I'm gonna bite your nipple off.
All right, bye. Steph Curry says it never happened when it comes to that viral Cat Williams story about him. Tyson Beckford says he may be a pretty face, but he almost had to fight Diddy. And did LL Cool J create the term GOAT? He says yes.
And back with us tonight is an OG content creator who's been serving us her funny takes on life, motherhood, and so much more, Ariana Lynch.
Hey, it's Ariana, and I am so glad to be back. It is good to be here again.
Good to be here with you as well, Ariana.
Yes.
Listen, man.
Welcome to Side Dish. Let's go.
We should have the sun on there at night just to show you that it's hot.
Yeah, it's so hot.
It's extremely hot, like extremely. The weather has been crazy. Every time you go outside, sweat bullets immediately.
And sometimes real bullets. Out and off of Edgewood. Look out, guys.
You know how we get down.